Hello. Alright, so I'm going to try and do something new here. I'm going to start taking... Oh, I didn't even start the video. There we go. Taking some of the pieces that I make, the long form time lapses that you can make in Procreate, and while I play them, I'm just going to kind of explain them a little bit. I'm choosing this one because it has a little bit of an interesting backstory that I can hopefully fill 8-ish minutes with while this plays out. This basically came from a mushroom trip that I had. I did the thing, I was by myself on my birthday and I had nothing to do in a bag of mushrooms. And I never weighed anything out, but I'm pretty decent at eyeballing different amounts, and I'd say I took about maybe it was between 2 and 3 grams. I ripped them up. I always rip them into tiny little pieces, or even grind them up with my grinder and then just knock them back with some kind of liquid. And I did the thing where I sat around for a couple hours and not much happened. So I was like, well, fuck, if I can get in there early enough with taking some more, maybe it'll make a difference. And then I just made a big pile that was probably, I don't know, it was at least another 3 grams, maybe more than that. And knocked that back, and a couple hours later, I was in space in a way that I've never experienced before in my life. I did not even know that this could actually happen. I've seen cartoonish trips like this happen in movies. I did not know that it could happen in real life, where it's literally like you're transported to like some kind of cartoony dimension. I saw all kinds of things, crazy shit that I still remember. It was so vivid that I still remember a lot of this trip. Like, anybody that's done any of these psychedelics before, or anything similar, knows that it's kind of like a dream where you forget a lot of it, or like it's hard to connect with the memories in a meaningful way, because it's just such like a sensory overload that happens at the time. So yeah, needless to say, there's a few other scenes from this trip that I had that I'll probably be trying to make more art out of somehow. This being the first one, because I kind of like doing different depictions of hell, which is what this is. Yeah, so it was weird. The whole trip I had was like in my room. I didn't go anywhere, I didn't do anything. And it at no point was a bad trip. Let me be, even at the point where I was in hell, it was great. I was having the time of my life. I've just done mushrooms so many times that it's like, I don't know, maybe some people have like some weird amnesic effect, that where they kind of just lose their sense of who they are or what they're doing, and I don't know. For me, that doesn't happen. Like, the entire time I knew it was on mushrooms, I was just seeing stuff and hallucinating, and I was having a great time. So yeah, this hell part was, I wish I could remember how it started. I don't remember how it started. I think I was just looking, okay, there's ebb and flow that kind of comes at every trip, and I think I was in a moment where I thought like I was like sobering up, or like it was like a plateauing and going away, and then I looked down kind of at myself. I was sitting on the side of my bed, and then I saw my own head grow out of the side of my body, and it kind of like stretched out like on this big long neck like a snake, and then looked back up at me and went, "I don't think so," in that voice. And I just bursted out laughing, and I fell back onto my bed and looked up, and then this is what I was looking up into. It was like I was in the bottom of a giant well. The enormity of this well is like hard to comprehend. I think I maybe added too much detail in this piece to maybe really capture that. Because I get carried away with detail all the time, no matter what I do. Like, this thing was like, it was like I was in the center of like some epic volcano, except the walls were made out of well, they were just covered in demons that were very fleshy. Everything was very red, just like this, and they were like constantly moving and kind of running around, and I don't know, like everything was kind of like looking at me, but like not paying attention to me. It was weird. And then the giant gray column kind of going up the middle right here. That was actually, I can't really remember actually what that looked like specifically, because I didn't really focus on it too much. I just remember that it was there. So I kind of winged it a little bit with how I was portraying it in this piece here. But yeah, I kind of wanted to at least capture the walls were like nuts. Like it's one of those like drug psychedelic trip things. It's really hard to explain because they were just constantly moving, and it was so immense that yeah, it was like completely breathtaking, and it like shocked me into like remembering enough detail about it that I was able to replicate at least some of it in this piece here. And yeah, so like trying to look back on this trip is just like sort of overwhelming in a way. And then like after this, I kind of like laid down up here. It was all sky. It was actually a lot brighter in the vision. The sky was like a bright blue sky. It was like almost like I was looking up in heaven. And I kind of had this like that a little bit in the beginning, but I thought it didn't really work. And then I kind of wanted to make this like really heavily shaded, where it was like the light was beaming down, so there would have been a lot more contrast. And then I was like, that's not how the vision looked. Like in the vision, it was like somehow the walls were all like self-illuminating, or maybe it was just being illuminated from the top and the bottom, from the heaven light and the hell light. I don't really know. It was just, there was no like darkness to anything really, like in a literal sense. Yeah, it was very weird. It was very intense, but it was great. I remember thinking to myself several times, I'm having the time of my life, I want to do this all the time. And then the next day I remember very much not thinking that. I was like, okay, that's cool, I'm not doing that again for a while. So, and I haven't really. Since then I've maybe done mushrooms once or twice. This is years ago too. And I've microdosed a bunch of times. But that's about it. It's not a thing I do super often, and I think that's probably kind of why I went a little overboard this time. I don't even know if I'd say I went overboard. I think I did exactly the right amount, honestly, because, like I said, at no point it was unenjoyable. Like any mushroom trip, there's ebbs and flows, a little bit of up and down, but it was definitely mostly up. I saw another piece where I laid down in my bed again, and then my roof just got like ripped away. And I was looking up into space, and there was this like epically huge, I hate using that word, but it really applies, epically huge, like, god, alien being thing that was just kind of up, like, I was like looking up at him, and his face was like way up in the sky. He didn't even really have a face, it was just like a big weird alien head thing. And yeah, I think I might try to replicate that at some point too. It all came from the same trip. There was a few things, I even thought about trying to redo my head in that weird snake way thing that I saw that was almost like mocking me. Because I've been trying to come up with some self-portrait ideas. Oops. Oh, and that's over. But, yeah. I don't know. I definitely saw a bunch of interesting stuff that trip, and we'll see what we can do. That's one of the Okay. So, anyways, thank you for watching. I'll probably do more of these in near future. Alright?